We need to normalize women saying they want a provider. I am tired of pretending that attraction is purely intellectual.
Every time I have interactions with men, I am just more and more appalled and disgusted by men. And
only men who can't afford you are going to be upset when you say you want a provider, man. Because if that's what you were, you wouldn't be upset. You would be like, oh yeah, of course you would want someone like that.
Hey ladies, one time I told a dude that when I get married, I want someone who is going to provide for me and pay all of these bills. Duh. He said something to the effect of,
we need to normalize women saying they want a provider. I am tired of pretending that attraction is purely intellectual. Stability is attractive. Leadership is attractive. Feeling safe is attractive. If you want a man who takes care of business so you can take care of the home and the relationship, that is not shallow. I notice even a lot of my friends aren't upfront about this. Like, can we stop pretending about what we actually care for?
The discussion reflected how financial stability and traditional relationship expectations continue shaping modern dating preferences and partner selection.
Being single is incredibly expensive, and I'm not talking about just not splitting rent. The entire infrastructure of America is very much set up for couples. It is baked into the foundation of our country and how we have organized things like housing, healthcare, employment, and the social safety net. Start with something like housing. Zoning laws in most American cities effectively mandate single-family homes, which are designed for nuclear families. And places where single people might stay, like studios and one-bedrooms, tend to be less available. And if they are available, they tend to be significantly more expensive per square foot than other units. Or take something like healthcare. Employer-sponsored health programs assume a spouse might need coverage. That is very much baked into how things are priced and subsidized. But single people cannot call their friend and, get on their health insurance plan, right? Like that benefit structure only recognizes one kind of interdependence. And the same with tax policy. It very much compounds all of this. Joint filers get way more tax benefits than single filers. Estate transfers between spouses are tax-free. If I left something to my friend who's been my person for decades, that doesn't matter. They have to pay taxes on it. And what's so interesting is when we talk about the singles tax, we often are thinking about it simply in terms of like splitting groceries or splitting rent. We're not talking about it as a policy category in the same way that we're talking about families.
The rising cost of living highlighted how many single adults face growing financial pressures, as existing systems often provide greater advantages to couples and families.
Only men who can't afford you are going to be upset when you say you want a provider, man. Because if that's what you were, you wouldn't be upset. You would be like, oh yeah, of course you would want someone like that. I worked so hard to give this to my family. Like, of course you want a provider, man. But if you can't provide that, then you take that all personal. Why do you want a provider, man? You're a gold digger. You want to sit on your butt all day. You want this. It's always the brokies who are upset that you want a provider, man.
The conversation reflected ongoing debates over financial expectations in relationships, highlighting how differing views on providing continue to shape modern dating dynamics.
hey ladies, one time I told a dude that when I get married, I want someone who is going to provide for me and pay all of these bills. Duh. He said something to the effect of, you don't want a man, you want a dad. You must not have a dad ever, blah, 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 blah. No, sir. I do have a dad. That's why I want that. My dad spoiled me to death and still does to this day. If I call that man right now and tell him I need some money, it's going to be my cash out within the next 10 minutes. So you think I'm going to go from that to being in a relationship with a man who don't do nothing for me? Does that make sense to you? Like, just make it make sense. Make it make sense. That's what a man is supposed to do, in my opinion. Now, if that's not how you feel, that's completely okay. There are plenty of women out here on the earth who do not believe that a man's job in a relationship is to protect and provide. Go find one of them and do whatever it is that dummies do when they get together. But if you want to be over here, it's going to cost you something, sir. Sorry, blame David.
The discussion reflected how upbringing and personal experiences can shape financial expectations, influencing what some people seek in long-term relationships.
So how would someone special get your attention?
I'm old school, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if you like me unless you give me some money. How do I know? How do I know you like me if you don't send me a gift or give me some money, huh?
The candid exchange reflected how financial gestures have become, for some, a way of expressing interest and measuring commitment in modern dating.
All right. So I had to think about this. I said, okay, let me really break this down, right, in bullet points. I got to get all this straight in my head. All right. So women want a man to be attractive, tall, make 6 or 7 figures, even though most women do not make that themselves. Right? Okay. While he's out here making all this money, all these 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 figures, he better be home in time to give all his attention and take her on all the dates, or else she'll cheat. Women want a man to call, but not too much. Text back, but don't text back too fast, because then he's like weird and he's a lame. And if he's nice, he's a lame. If he's mean, he's unattainable. He's a challenge, and then women want him, even if they will not admit it. I hear women say all the time, like, I just want my man to be honest. But when he's honest, they blow up, freak out, label him mean, toxic, abusive, and of course, a narcissist. Most women do not really want honesty. They want comfort. You want a man to tell you what you want to hear, not what's going to help you grow. And speaking of growth, try pointing out just one thing that she needs to work on, and you will see exactly why most women cannot take accountability for shit. You want a man to be emotionally available, but if he shows any emotion, then he's soft. You want him to lead, but when he does, now he's aggressive and controlling and abusive. You want him to initiate sex and affection, but when he does, you turn it down. But when he stops trying, then you say he's cheating or he's gay. Women want undivided attention, but if he gives it to you, then he's sucking the life out of you. He won't give you space. You can't breathe. He's lame and he's annoying. Then you turn around and cheat with the guy that's going to treat you like a whore and who looks at you as such. Women don't even realize the guy who's just trying to hit. They just look at the guy who's trying to build as the red flag. I'm confused. I don't think I will ever understand any of this, and I am a woman.
The commentary reflected frustrations over conflicting dating expectations, highlighting how differing perceptions of attraction, communication, and accountability continue fueling relationship debates.
Fucking fair. Like, y'all be making requests that y'all know good and well y'all would not fulfill for this man or your motherfucking self. But he's supposed to do it? Like, okay, if he wanted you to pay all of his motherfucking bills, would you do it? No, the fuck you wouldn't. Nope. But in some type of way, it's his responsibility to pay all yours because he dealing with you. You dealing with him too, bro. Like, I'm just saying, like, if you would never pay a grown man's rent, stop acting like it's his responsibility for him to pay yours. Like, if you ain't sending him money for haircuts and all that shit, stop expecting him to pay for your hair and your nails and your upkeep. That's not his responsibility. He got his own shit to do. You're not fucking doing it. Like, I'm just understanding where the reciprocity comes in at. Like, bitch, like, fuck that, oh, he's the man type of shit. It don't matter. This man is still human. Like, he still gotta wake up, go to work, deal with stress, pay taxes, pay bills. Like, this man gotta figure out life just like you do. And in case you forgot, his money ain't printed no different than yours. No easier than yours. The money that you don't want to spend on yourself or him. Bitch. Yeah. And then another one, like, if you don't want him entertaining other women, stop entertaining other men. It's not, it like, bitches be thinking it's okay to do that, to accept certain shit and to talk to other men and just hee ha ha only because it's platonic in the moment. Fuck that. You don't want him doing that shit. Bitch, you need to tone it down a bit. Like, you want loyalty, bitch, you're gonna have to be loyal. You want honesty, you're gonna have to be honest. You want consistency, you're gonna have to be consistent, bitch. Like, you can't want respect from him and then be disrespectful to him. You can't want him to watch his tone and then talk to him fucking crazy. You can't want grace for your mistakes, bitch, and then he's persecuted for his. You can't fucking do that. Like, those are unrealistic expectations. And a lot of females hold me into those fucking expectations and wonder why niggas stray away from that shit. Bitch, he can't fucking live up to what the fuck you expect him to be, bitch. He just fucking can't. And granny, every relationship is different, but you don't have to split.
The passionate discussion emphasized that lasting relationships depend on mutual effort, arguing that expectations should be balanced with equal responsibility and reciprocity.
One of the reasons men rally so hard against like women being like, here's my expectations, here's what I want in my life, here's my standards for relationships, is because they really believe that they deserve to be unconditionally loved. They have this idea that women get to be unconditionally loved, but men don't. Here's a newsflash. No one gets to be unconditionally loved. People who unconditionally love you are your parents and grandparents, if you have good sets of both, which you might not, so maybe you never get to be unconditionally loved. If that's the case for you, I'm so sorry. I have wonderful parents, not to flex on you. This expectation and resentment I see with men, there's this expectation that I should do nothing and still receive all the benefits of being in a relationship. And if that's not happening, then something is broken, because I should just be loved for who I am and I shouldn't have to offer anything here. For women that have this mentality too, but I'm talking about men specifically right now. We can circle back to women later. That's why there's so much resentment about like, I have to pay for things. What do you mean I have to contribute? I have to invest my money and time into this relationship. You will have to work to earn people's love. Once you've earned it, there's a point where it becomes unconditional. Like once you're married, yes, that love on some level should be unconditional, not in the sense that you stay if you're treated poorly, but in the sense that you give and you don't play tit for tat and you don't play transactions. If you're in a good, healthy marriage, you're both just giving, you both just love each other, and you're not worried about what you're getting in return. Understand what I'm saying? I'm saying you give because you love them and want to give, not because you're expecting something in return. That's what I mean by unconditional love. I am not talking about tolerating blatant disrespect, abuse, anything like that.
The discussion explored differing beliefs about love and commitment, arguing that healthy relationships are built through mutual effort rather than unconditional expectations.
For the women who are with other women, I'm so confused by why it could ever be perceived to be problematic, and really simply saying that you don't want to be in a relationship with another woman who can't financially provide for herself or contribute to the relationship. One, would love to know where that's coming from. Like, I just genuinely don't get it. And two, I got with my partner when I was 19 and she was 20. We were in college, and I wouldn't have been attracted to her if it weren't for the goals and the vision that she had for her life. She wouldn't have been attracted to me if that weren't the case for me either. In the same way that you should always have that expectation of your partner, you should also be willing to live up to that expectation yourself as another woman. Would love to know what your position on that is, but also acknowledging that like every relationship is different.
The conversation highlighted the importance of shared financial responsibility, suggesting that long-term relationships often thrive when both partners pursue similar goals and contribute equally.
Every time I have interactions with men, I am just more and more appalled and disgusted by men and the behavior of men towards women. Like dating in my early 20s, men actually had respect for women, relatively. You at least felt like a human being around them. You know, you at least felt like they saw you as a human and not just an object. But the increase in all of these red pill podcasts and women hating behavior on the internet has literally poisoned the minds of men. And it was to the point that I just stopped dating entirely for the last 6 months or so. I've been trying to give dating a chance again lately. I've even been like trying to date guys who are not, you know, my typical type. Yeah, even dating guys who are not my typical type has not fixed the issue. In fact, actually, it's worse. What the fuck is a girl to do? Give up? I always have dated guys who were like 10, 15 years older than me, because I've been dating guys around my age lately, and that shit, girl, no.
The personal account reflected growing frustration with modern dating, as changing experiences and online influences shaped one woman's perspective on relationships.